Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order, that being the meeting of regular council, of the Township of Warwick. It's May 4th, 2026, and starting time is 3:30. Does anybody have a disclosure of pecuniary interest or conflict of interest they'd like to declare at this time? Seeing none, thank you. Also want to welcome everybody who's joining us through our YouTube page. Welcome, everybody. I'm now going to do the acknowledgement of ancestral lands. We acknowledge that the Township of Warwick is located on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, as well as the many Indigenous nations in Ontario whose footsteps have marked them for centuries. We also wish to acknowledge that we are situated on Treaty 29 and Treaty 25 territories signed by Chippewa chiefs, and we offer our respect and gratitude for these lands. We go to number 5 on the agenda, council, if we could, and that's minutes of the previous council meeting. The minutes that we're talking about are the minutes of April 13th. The regular council meeting. Does anybody have any questions on those minutes at all? I would entertain a motion then. Deputy Mayor Kallenberg is moving it and Councillor Morris is seconding it. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And there's no business arising from those minutes, I believe. Thank you, Madam Deputy Clerk. And we'll go to 7 if we could, council, and that's 7A, and that's scheduled meetings and events. That's more of an FYI to everybody. Does anybody have any questions on 7A? Very good. And then we'll go to 7B, very similar situation. Anybody have any questions on 7B? Seeing none, thank you very much. Let's go to councilors' commitments and items. Does anybody have any new dates to be recorded as far as council commitment dates, holidays and so on? No? Yes, Deputy Mayor.
I'll be away this Saturday and Sunday out of town.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Seeing none, very good. Let's go to councilors' items. I'm going to switch it around a little bit. Councilor Morris, I'm going to start with you. Do you have anything for today?
I have nothing for today, thanks.
Councilor Westgate?
I was just wondering how long before the ball diamonds will be ready, Ryan, or what's the problem there?
Thank you. So baseball last week was to be our first week. The weather didn't permit it to run exactly as we had scheduled. It's still quite wet. We haven't been able to get out onto the new baseball diamond yet to properly get that diamond ready to play for baseball. We have been playing in Warwick baseball diamond and the Optimus ball diamond, but we do hope with some dry weather and this warmth will certainly help that we can get playing on the new ball diamond this week. We have done some warning track work out there, so we've been working away on that project as well. And I could probably just give a quick update today too on the ball diamond lighting project that's set to start in June as well.
Follow up, Councilor Westgate?
Yeah, and the fence at the back or the netting at the back, are they going to put it back up?
Yes, thank you. And that's part of the ball diamond lighting project. They'll be doing all that at the same point in time.
Thank you. Anything else today, Councilor Westgate? No? Councilor Manning, sir?
Nothing for me today, thanks.
Deputy Mayor Kallenberg?
Nothing for me as well.
Very good. My one question is more or less a follow-up from Councilor Westgate's, and it was a question about lighting at the back for the tennis courts and the arena court and so on, or probably the hockey court, I call it basketball court, and the timer and how it's set. I mean, this winter, there was times where it was on for quite some time, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I understand it's on a timer from what I understand, but just wondering what the plan is going into the nicer weather, how long the lights would be on at the tennis courts and so on, just so we can communicate that to the public, if I could, Ryan.
Yes, thank you, Mayor Case. That was certainly a great time to dig deeper into that and get our plan around the lighting. We can certainly put out some social media posts and get that out to the public on what that timing will look like. We can check the timers. We'll ensure everything's in working order and that we do have that plan that we'll adhere to and follow. The sport court lights, tennis court lights, in the past have stayed on until approximately 10 o'clock daily throughout the summer months. So we'll can report back to you on anything further as we move along here.
All right. Well, thank you, Ryan. Just so the folks know that they'll be on till 10 o'clock if that's the plan, they know it. And if they're not staying on later than that, I think it's just, I think the concern that the one resident that talked to me about was the cost of energy and it being on in the wintertime for extended hours when nobody was utilizing them. So thank you very much for that answer. I appreciate that. And once we do get everything kind of spelled out, we can maybe communicate that through Stephanie, through social media as well as through our new website. So thank you for that. All right, let's move along then, council. Let's go to staff items. We have one here. That's the OPP municipal space request. Trevor, am I going to you for this one? Thank you. Trevor.
I'm actually gonna add a second one. The first one's the OPP municipal space. When they're out on the east side on patrol, they're looking for stop-in stations to work from, 24-hour access and accessibility. We have no problem offering up space so long as council's okay. We can give them a card, they can come in the back, teach them the basically how to use a security system and everything like that, and get them in and out and designated space to them. And it's up to council whether or not, but they're searching.
So just so everybody, maybe not everybody remembers this, but we used to provide space below the library for years. The OPP markings were on the door. And Trevor was talking to them and thought, I think Trevor, just to be specific, you were talking about space maybe in this municipal building?
Yeah, space here would probably be the best, in my opinion. It's just that we have access to the parking lot. It's not going to be interrupted, and they'll have quiet time and facilities that they need rather than driving back to Petrolia all the time.
Basically a spot for them to come in, maybe use the washroom, maybe file a report or something like that. Council have any questions on this request by the OPP? Councilor Morris.
Just off the comfort, we pay them a pile of money. Have they offered anything for rent?
No, they haven't offered anything for rent, and this is effort to try to keep further costs from skyrocketing. This is not provincially, this is the local Lambton Police chapter.
I think Councilor Manning, you have a question?
Further what Councillor Morris was asking, like, is this gonna help increase their presence here? Like, this will keep them going back and forth. So like, are we gonna actually see an increased presence because of this? Cause again, we pay them a lot of money and I'd like to see something for what we get,
I believe it'll keep them here longer. So when they are present, then they have the workspace here rather than have to file back there and then maybe not come back for hours.
Anybody else went on this one? It's a visibility thing, the way I look at it, Councillor. You see the car, it's parked here, it's in town a little more often, to your point. So I think it's good. Something we did for years. It did seem to work fairly well back in the day. I guess it's, from my standpoint, it's a visibility thing. And if they're here, that, as your point, that we might be here a little bit more. Unfortunately, the costs are skyrocketing, but it is what it is. Unfortunately, we don't have too much control over that. But that's it. Anybody else got any questions or comments on this one? What's council's wishes to, I think I would want to ask for a motion to allow this to happen if council wished to do it. Councilor Morris, you're making that motion? Thank you. Seconded by Councilor Manning. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Trevor, you said you had another one here that's maybe not listed?
Yes, this one came very late. I apologize for it. We prepared the agenda, then we had somebody return from vacation. And this is one of Kyle's little items in terms of, we awarded the gravel contract earlier this year. There was a surcharge potentially for fuel, and it's just to highlight that for council.
Anybody have any questions for Trevor on that one? It's kind of a common thing, especially now with the price of gas being where it is. No questions? Okay, yes, Councilor Westgate.
What is the surtax?
Thank you. So we are waiting, we have not received our maintenance gravel this year yet. It's been deferred till May 18th is the tentative target date to start. Depending on whether the initial timing window didn't work for the roads, they're still too soft, too wet. So we're waiting till the actual delivery start, and then we're going to look at what the rack rates are for that month compared to the month we awarded the tender and look at the difference. There's been a substantial cost increase. Our tender price of gravel was actually a cent less per ton than last year. So it's not like we had an elevated cost for the gravel itself. And the request from the contractor was to basically a surcharge for some of the offset, some of the costs with fuel. So I don't have an exact number yet for you.
Anybody else? Questions? It is a very common practice. It hurts, but again, it's a situation going on in the world right now. So Trevor, you were just looking to let us know, or did you want some kind of clarification?
Correct. It's It's just more information right now. As say, it's based on the rack rate from the prior month, and we'll do the delta. It's gonna come out early, later on. You're gonna see the variances for Q1. It'll be part of the variance in Q2 where we can talk about it further, but it's something we're gonna be subject to.
And if I'm right, those usually are built into every contract, those pieces in small print or so on, maybe Kyle?
Yes, they're typically written in to account for events extreme as is currently happening that allows them to recover some of those costs.
Thank you. All right, nobody else? Yes, Councillor Manning.
So do we have an idea on how this is gonna affect all the contracts we've already awarded? Like, do we have a rough monetary idea of what this is gonna cost us in the next few months? Cause we're going into construction season and I don't think this atmosphere is gonna change anytime soon, so.
We have built contingency into every contract or every tender that went out. We have, I won't say adequate margin, but we have margin but the contingency, I think, will be probably exhausted by the time of the end of the year based on what's happening and even events earlier today.
Or see us going over that contingency though.
Crystal ball? Perhaps. And if we do, we will come back and inform council at that time. But right now, everything we're seeing is probably going to take it up to the limit, but not beyond.
Anybody else? So, okay, very good. Thank you for letting us know. And let's hope this thing doesn't last as long as I think it may. Thank you for the information. We have no delegation or timed events today, council. We're going to go to number 11, accounts. Did anybody have any question on the GL report today, 11A? No question on 11A. Does anybody have any question on B, 11B, the accounts payable? No questions. And we also have an additional report. It's the quarterly report. So it's the first quarter variances. Does anybody have any question on the variance report? Seeing none. Anything you'd like to highlight on that report, Trevor?
Well, building off what Councillor Manning said, we're coming into construction season. So even though we've got a very aggressive capital budget again this year, there's very little capital charges in Q1 because we're just tendering contracts. Q2 will have traction on that, and once we get that, you'll see it. But there is no capital variance in this, just it's operating right now.
Thank you. Anybody else? If that's the case, I would entertain a motion to approve the GL, the accounts payable, and the quarterly variance report all in one motion. Councillor Westgate is making that motion, seconded by Councillor Manning. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. We're going to go to number 12, council, and that's a consent agenda. Does anybody have any questions on the non-action correspondence 12A? No? Very good. Anybody have any questions on the Parks and Recreation meeting minutes from April 15th, 2026? Yes, Councillor Morris.
I'd just like to highlight one thing on there. We had an excellent presentation by Jessica Arts regarding her proposal to put a pathway from basically the waste management parking lot out by the cemetery into town and then over to the dog park. She's done a lot of work to find out information, but she needs our help to lobby the county to get permission because it is a county road. And we need to, I think Ryan was going to do a little more digging on it to find out from Lipton, Wyoming, or whoever did that, how much it costs. But I think she needs our support. And she done an excellent presentation. She done her homework, and I'd just like to council to endorse it.
Councillor, perhaps would you like to make a motion that we communicate that through to the county?
Yes, I'd like.
I mean, it's good that Ryan's doing it, but
Yeah.
maybe an official endorsement
I'd
from
like to make a
council.
motion that we contact the county to find out a proposed walkway between the waste management parking lot by the cemetery to the dog park.
Very good. Do we have a seconder to that motion? Deputy Mayor is seconding it. Ryan, before we move on, did you have anything you wish to comment on this particular one? I know you're working on it.
Yes, thank you. Just to echo Councillor Morris's statements, great presentation, be a great piece of infrastructure to our trails and pathways. Happy to take the direction from today and reach out further with the county council or maybe not necessarily the county council, but the county staff folks, and kind of identify some challenges and next steps, and see how we can keep this project moving along. Also happy to keep the arts delegation in the loop as we move forward here too. As Councilor Morris mentioned, they had a great presentation, and we want to keep them involved in this process as we move forward. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any further questions? Councilor Westgate?
A few years ago, they had brought this up before, I guess, so it was in the end use for the waste management, wasn't it? So there is supposed to be information for the cost from Wyoming in that. I think we looked at it before and talked to the county before about this.
Yes, if I could, yeah, I believe that to be correct as well. And just in the process of gathering some of that background information that was done previously, I think that was 2018 is when a lot of that work was done. But using that sort of as the base as we move forward here.
I know they're talking about widening it, or they had a bit of a discussion at one of their council meetings about widening it. So there's probably some fresh information. I believe it was 2014 when it was actually built. I was warden of the county at the time. I remember going when they opened it. But that information, some of it will be outdated, but at the same time, it would give you a good idea. And no, so that's great. Anybody else have anything more they want to add to this one? Sounds like a good project. Maybe Ryan, while you're doing your due diligence, maybe it's something that should be brought up to WM as well. If they had a plan, once we talked about the end use, maybe they should be included in that conversation as well. I think the deputy mayor and Councillor Westgate sit on the end use committee for us. I don't know when your next meeting is, but maybe we should have a discussion or mention it to them as well at the same time. And then when the gentlemen have their next end use meeting, they can maybe follow up on it. I'll call the question. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. C, Parks and Recreation Weed Management Report. So there is a report here from Ryan, and there's also a recommendation that Warwick Township Council receive the Watford Weed Management and Garden Update report. So receive and filed. Anybody have any questions on the report from Ryan? The report. I think it's great that we have a plan going into the season, and I thank Ryan for that. Anybody have any questions for him? No? Okay. So we have a recommendation before us. How does council wish to deal with the recommendation? Councillor Manning is making the motion, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kallenberg. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Let's go to D, the Parks and Recreation Dashboard. This is something that's been added to the agenda, which I think is a great addition to kind of have an understanding of where everybody is and all the different departments. So thank you very much for putting this together. I thank Trevor and his team for taking this initiative on to help keep us informed. Any questions on the Parks and Recreation Dashboard? Seeing none? Okay. So let's have a motion to receive and file that report as well, please. Deputy Mayor is making the motion, seconded by Councillor Morris. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you, Ryan. We're going to move on to E, and that's the Public Works Dashboard. Any questions on the Public Works Dashboard today, Council? Seeing none, again, appreciate this. It's more information which keeps us in the loop. We get questions from folks and we can have an understanding of how things are getting dealt with, and as they move off the list and they're completed, or if they're still there, what the reasons are for them still being there. How does council wish to deal with this? I would ask for a motion to receive and file this one as well. Councillor Morris is making that motion. Councillor Westgate is seconding that. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. I would ask for a motion to receive and file AD. I guess I've done some of them individually. Let's the ones that we have not done. Let's do a receive and file on the other. Yes, Councillor Manning.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, my apologies. I would just like to kind of go back to A. There's an item I missed I would like to highlight for our community members on there.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, thank you. There's a Sarnia Lambton Economic Partnership, and there's a $5,000 grant, I believe, for new businesses. And I think that's something now we should possibly highlight for our community members, because that's a good initiative for new businesses and startups in our community. And I'd like to see more people take advantage of that.
Thank you, sir. I believe Stephanie is highlighting those particular items through our social media account. Stephanie, did you want to speak to this at all, Stephanie? Not to put you on the spot?
Sure. Thanks, Mayor Case. Yes, so I do send out a regular newsletter to our business owners. So when opportunities like this come up, I do let them know through email notifications, but also happy to provide that on our social media to have additional outreach.
Thank you for bringing it up. Anything else? And I would ask for a motion to receive and file the remainder of the correspondence, and that's Councillor Manning, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kallenberg. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Council, let's go to number 13 on the agenda. We're going to go to action correspondence first, 13A. The first item we have is 05-X1 Optimus Club of Watford Summer Beach Volleyball Tournament. Its request is a little bit different this year, but it's the standard request they put on the big tournament, and they're looking for permission to do it. Anybody have any questions on this request before we? What's council's pleasure in dealing with this request? Councillor Morris?
I make a motion, we support the Optimus on this.
Sure, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kallenberg. All in favor? Got a lot of optimists on this council, which is a good thing. Thank you. That's carried. And the second piece of correspondence today is 05-X2, and it's the Associated Municipalities of Ontario, and they're at the conference. They're asking if we want delegations. I think that we can probably handle our delegation requests outside of that conference. I think there's only one member of council going to that conference this year. So, and no staff people are going. So I think maybe we handle it that way. I'm sure that the member that's going, if he sees something of interest, isn't going to be shy. I'm sure knowing him, he will make sure that he corrals whoever he needs to ask them any questions that come out of that conference. So I guess we will leave that one at that unless somebody wants to make a change. Okay, I would ask for a motion to receive and file the remainder of the correspondence. Councillor Morris, seconded by Councillor Manning. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. We're going to go to 13B. Parks and Recreation ice rental fees for service report. And there is a recommendation that goes along with this. Ryan, did you want to touch on this at all? It's a good report, but I'll just give you a chance to speak to it if you wish.
All right, thank you, Mayor Case. Yeah, just a simple exercise reviewing our current fees for service, looking at local comparators, benchmarks, trying to find that balance between cost recovery and still being able to provide an affordable and equitable fees for service for some of our recreation opportunities and for our user groups. We've had very minimal increases over the past 5 years anyways. So just looking to sort of bring our fees into alignment with our neighbors and local comparators. I would say the majority of the proposed changes are our ice users, our ice rates. Even with the proposed increases, I think we're still at the lower level of our fees, but I do recognize that there are some increases built into these rates. We had some minimal fee increases with our baseball, specifically our tournaments as well. Though that level of service has certainly increased over the past number of years, and just looking to get our rates up somewhere around, in line with the service that we are providing over the course of those tournament weekends. I think that's sort of the high level touch points of the report, but certainly happy to answer any questions or take any direction.
All right, well, thank you, Ryan. I just have one question right off the bat, and I'm assuming that you've had the discussion with the user groups about this because already they've set their registration rates and so on. Just don't want to leave anybody in a bad place. Have you already had the discussions with the user group about their rate increases potentially?
Thank you, Mayor Case. So we have started our process of building out our 26-27 ice season. So our ice applications have went out there. We've committed to no rates. I believe the initial email that went out highlighted that there could be changes in those fees, as there always is. I believe it's even in the fees for service bylaw that the fees are subject to change and to be added. Nobody for next season has received a formal contract as of yet. The minute something like this were to be passed through council, we would certainly be keeping our users up to date. We are pretty much ready to send out our formal ice contracts to all of our key user groups. We have our schedule built, just awaiting any changes to the potential ice fees.
Thanks, Ryan. Anybody else have any questions of Ryan? Councillor Morris?
Yeah, under the ELCC gym, It says NC. I take it that's no change, not no cost?
Yes, thank you, and great point. And yes, that's no change.
Okay, anybody else have any questions on the fee changes proposed? Okay, no, I'm good with that, being that you have not committed to any fees for that. I know we're still, when it comes to ice, we're still cheaper than our neighbors to the south on that, so we'll leave it to you, unless anybody has anything else they want to say. The recommendation is that Warwick Township Council approve the Parks and Recreation fees for service update as recommended to be implemented as of September 8th, 2026. How does council wish to deal with that recommendation? Councilor Westgate, you moving it? Thank you. Seconded it by Councilor Manning. All in favor? That's carried. Thank you. Okay, folks, we're going to go to 13C on the agenda. And that's the 2026 Churchill Line Rehabilitation Program. And there is a recommendation that Warwick Township Council approves the recommendation of Spreets Associates to award the 2026 Churchill Line Rehabilitation to All Seasons Excavating for $1,672,615. Is that plus HST? Kyle?
Yes. HST wasn't included in that number.
I assumed it was, so plus HST for the record. So that is the recommendation. How does council wish to deal with the recommendation, or do they have any questions? Councilor Morris?
Kyle, does that include engineering, that price?
It does not include engineering and geotechnical. I don't have that specific number in front of me, but it's beneath the budgeted amount for this project.
So we're still gonna be on budget of the $2 million approximately. The church,
Yeah, the only cost risk we have with this segment is related to fuel is the AC index, which if fuel continues to rise, the asphalt costs will continue to rise. That's the only upside risk.
So there is a contingency built into this one as well, and it did come under budget. So I think in speaking to some of the folks here, the hope was it would come in maybe a little bit under budget potentially. And just remind everybody, Brooke Alvinston has to deal with this as well. We bless it. If we bless it here today, they have to approve it at their council meeting, I believe, on Thursday. So the hope is with it coming in at the number it did and adding the engineering that we still would be okay, I think, Kyle. Not trying to put you on the spot, but that was kind of the hope, right?
Yes, within the budgeted amount, there is a contingency amount included within that. And there's still room for engineering and geotechnical and with a cost escalation for asphalt potentially.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Councilor Morris?
not concerning this contract, but just in general, Kyle. I've noticed, like, especially on Churchill, the edge of the road is really gone bad because of the farm equipment is wider and heavier. Something for you to think about or look at maybe. Would it be feasible to pave the road a foot wider on each side and eliminate this problem? Not for an answer now, but just for something maybe you get back to us on?
I guess the one piece I would like to add for now is because we had to come to an agreement with Brooke for this project, we agreed to widen the platform to 7 meters for the cost shared portion from Forest to Sexton. So it should be noticeably wider than the current condition.
Okay, what is our normal? Like you said, 7 meters right now. What's the normal width?
Every road has a varying value. Typically, it's less than 7 currently, so we've gone to 7 to give a little more space.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else have any questions on this particular item? Seeing none, I would ask, what's council's pleasure when it comes to this particular piece of business? Councilor Morris?
I make a motion, we accept the tender as presented.
Yes, sir. Do we have a seconder? Deputy Mayor Kallenberg is seconding that. Any further discussion? All in favor? That is carried. Thank you. Okay, we're at number 14. Any new business or notices of motion today, gang? Seeing none? No, very good. So that ends the open session of today's meeting. Thank you very much to everybody who tuned in today. We appreciate it. And now I'm going to ask for a motion to move into an in-camera meeting of council pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Number 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 of the Municipal Act. Councillor Manning, you're making that motion. Thank you, sir. Second by Councillor Morris. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you.